Ladies and gentlemen, let's focus. They told you success starts with a degree. They lie. The world isn't run by people with the most paper. It's led by those with the strongest mindset. If you're ready to stop waiting for permission and start winning, then listen closely. This message is for you. Number one, most people grow up hearing the same thing over and over again. Get good grades, go to college, earn a degree, and then life will open its doors for you. But here is the truth. Very few ever say out loud, a degree without clarity is just a decorated piece of paper. It might get you in the room, but it will not make you unforgettable. It will not keep you going when things get hard. It will not make your purpose burn brighter when the lights go out. Clarity of vision is the real beginning of any powerful journey. It is what separates the wanderers from the warriors. When you know exactly what you want and why you want it, you become unstoppable. You stop asking for permission. You stop doubting yourself every time things go sideways. You stop needing someone else to validate your choices. Clarity turns your mind into a magnet. It draws the right people, the right opportunities, the right actions into your life. It cuts through the noise and helps you stay focused, even when the world is shouting 100 different directions. Even when your friends chase titles and degrees they don't even care about, clarity reminds you that you are building something bigger. You are chasing something deeper. Think of all the successful people who started with no formal education. What did they have? A crystal clear vision. They knew exactly what they wanted to create. They saw it in their mind before it ever became real. They were not confused about whether they were on the right path. They had already made the decision. They were going to make it happen with or without a degree. Clarity gives you energy. It fuels discipline. When others are still sleeping, you are working. Not because someone told you to, but because you are chasing your own vision, your own dream, not society's plan for you. That is a powerful place to operate from. And here is the secret. Once you have clarity, you become immune to distractions. You don't waste time proving yourself to everyone. You stop chasing every opportunity that knocks. Instead, you ask, does this serve my vision? Does this help me get where I want to go? If it does, you go all in. If it doesn't, you walk away without guilt. That level of focus, that level of inner strength, it comes from vision, not from certificates, not from external praise, not from letters after your name. So if you don't have a degree and you feel behind, let me tell you something powerful. You are not behind. You are just one decision away from absolute clarity. The moment you know what you want, why you want it, and what you're willing to do to get it, you become the most dangerous person in the room. That is the truth. No one teaches in school. Vision beats credentials every single time. Number two, you can sit in a classroom for years. You can read every book on business, leadership, health, or success. But if you do not take action, you are just a spectator in your own life. Success is not about how much you know. It's about what you do with what you know. The world is full of brilliant minds who are stuck overthinking, stuck over planning, stuck waiting for the perfect moment. But here is what they miss. Progress does not happen in your mind. It happens in the real world, through trial, through error, through failure, through bold, imperfect action. Action builds experience. Experience builds confidence. When you do something, even if you fail, you learn more in that moment than someone who has been reading about it for years. Real growth does not come from theory. It comes from engagement, from putting your hands in the dirt, from making the call, taking the shot, launching the idea, talking to the customer, falling down and standing back up again. Every successful person you admire, every brand you love, every innovation you use daily, it all started with action, not with a perfect plan, but with a decision to start, to do, to create, to try. People who wait for the perfect time never start. People who wait to feel ready never move. But the action takers, they know readiness comes from movement, not from thinking about movement. You do not need more information. You need momentum. And momentum only comes when you get out of your head and into the field. When you stop learning and start applying. When you stop analyzing and start doing. You do not need a degree to act. You do not need a certificate to make a sale. You do not need a permission slip to start that business. You need courage. You need hunger. You need the fire inside to say, I will figure it out on the way. Let others sit on the sidelines waiting for life to hand them a chance. You get on the field, take the risk, make the move. Fail fast, learn faster. That is how you build a winning life. Action makes you stronger, smarter, wiser, more resilient. It reveals your strengths. It exposes your weaknesses, and that is how you grow. So do not sit on your ideas. Do not overthink your dreams. Act now. Act messy. Act with heart. Because in this game of life, action always beats theory. Number 3, the most powerful assets you can ever develop is not a degree, not a title, not a recommendation letter. It is your mindset. Your mindset determines how you respond to failure, how you adapt to challenges, how you grow from struggle. This world does not reward the person with the most knowledge. It rewards the one with the most resilience, the one who refuses to give up when things go wrong. Your mindset is not just how you think. It is how you live, how you carry yourself, how you make decisions when everything is uncertain. If you think like a victim, you will live like one. If you think like a winner, you will start moving like one. It is not your education that decides your fate. It is the beliefs you carry every single day. There are people with degrees who are paralyzed by fear. They know everything, yet do nothing because their mindset is filled with doubt. But then there are others who never went to college, and they rise above expectations because they believe in themselves deeply and take action fearlessly. That is the power of mindset. It is not about being fearless. It is about being brave enough to keep going even when fear screams louder than hope. Your mindset is your daily coach. It is either building you or breaking you. You wake up with a choice. Do you believe this day is full of problems or full of possibilities? That choice shapes your results more than any textbook ever could. Mindset is what helps you hear no and still keep pushing. It is what helps you lose and come back smarter, tougher, sharper. It is what makes you walk into a room with no qualifications and still own your value because you know you bring something real, something raw, something earned through life, not just lectures. The truth is, you were not born with a mindset. It is something you develop daily through effort, discipline, and reflection. You sharpen it every time you rise after falling. Every time you stay patient under pressure. Every time you choose growth over comfort. When you build a strong mindset, you become dangerous, not in a reckless way, in an unstoppable way. People sense your energy. They feel your certainty. They respect your discipline. And that power is not found in classrooms. It is built in the fire of real-life challenges. The person with the best mindset wins long term. Because they do not break when things get hard. They bend, they adjust, they grow. Your degree might tell others what you studied, but your mindset tells the world who you really are. So stop underestimating yourself because you do not have a paper that says you are qualified. Start investing in your mental toughness, your emotional intelligence, your belief in your mission. Read the right books. Surround yourself with people who uplift you. Speak to yourself with power. Feed your brain with strength, and your life will reflect it. You do not need the world to approve you. You need to approve yourself and move with that energy. Because at the end of the day, the mindset you carry will open doors no diploma ever could. Number 4, people love to say they cannot start because they do not have enough money, enough time, enough connections, but the truth is, lack of resources is rarely the problem. The real issue is a lack of resourcefulness. It is not about what you have. It is about what you do with what you have. Some of the greatest companies started in garages. Some of the greatest leaders started with nothing but hunger, determination, and vision. They did not wait for the perfect condition. They created progress with whatever they could find. Resourcefulness is a mindset. It is the ability to figure things out, to improvise, to learn fast, to move forward with creativity and grit. It is the decision to stop complaining about what is missing and start maximizing what is available. When you are resourceful, you turn problems into puzzles and then solve them. You see opportunity in chaos. You see leverage and limitations. You do not freeze under pressure. You think clearer. You act faster. And that separates you from the rest. Degrees often teach you what should work. Resourcefulness teaches you what does work when things go wrong, when the system fails you, when the economy shifts, when the plan collapses. You will not crumble if you have trained yourself to think beyond the rules. Resourceful people are relentless. They do not stop when doors close. They build their own entrances. They do not wait for someone to show them the way. They create paths that never existed before. Being resourceful means being willing to learn anything, to do any job, to wear multiple hats, to ask the right questions, to find the right people. It means believing that there is always a way, even if you have not found it yet. It means staying curious, staying scrappy, staying committed to progress, even when you feel unqualified or outmatched. Look around and you will see it everywhere. The ones who win are not always the most talented. They are the ones who keep showing up, keep trying new angles, keep pushing forward no matter how little they started with. That mindset makes you unstoppable. If you cannot afford something, learn to build it. If you cannot access something, learn to hack it. If you cannot find support, become your own biggest cheerleader. That is resourcefulness in action. And every time you take that approach, you build confidence, you gain momentum, and you prove to yourself that you do not need more to become more. So do not wait until you have it all together. Start with what you have. Start with who you are. Start with where you are and grow from there. Being resourceful will take you further than any certificate ever could. Because when you have that mindset, nothing can hold you back. Number 5. There is a dangerous belief holding millions of people back, and it is this: the idea that growth only happens in school. That once you get a degree, your learning is done, your journey is complete, your education is sealed. But real winners know that the opposite is true. Growth is never finished. Growth is never scheduled. Growth is never dependent on a system. It is driven by your hunger, your desire, your inner fire. If you only grow when a teacher tells you to, you are not in control of your future. If you only study when exams are near, you are not building long-term power. If you only improve when someone else is watching, you will never achieve greatness. True growth is self-driven, and that is what makes it unstoppable. You become your own engine. You wake up ready to improve, not because someone expects it, but because you expect more from yourself. Think of the most successful people in the world. They are not the ones who finished school and stopped learning. They are the ones who built a habit of learning that never ends. They are always reading, always studying, always adjusting, always upgrading. That is what separates the exceptional from the average. They do not wait for someone to hand them a lesson. They go out and hunt for it. When you take ownership of your own growth, you become dangerous. You do not need motivation from the outside. You do not need permission to get better. You become relentless in your pursuit of wisdom. You know your weaknesses and you go to war with them. You know your potential and you refuse to settle until you see it realized. Growth is not something that happens to you. It is something you created, as something you earn. You grow by facing hard truths, not avoiding them. You grow by seeking challenges, not comfort. You grow by making mistakes, not by playing it safe. The education system can give you tools, but it cannot give you drive. That comes from within. You choose to grow when you turn off distractions and open a book. You choose to grow when you ask better questions. You choose to grow when you chase new skills, when you learn from people better than you, when you humble yourself to learn from every situation. Some people rely on schools and mentors to make them better, but the most powerful people on the planet use life itself as their university. They study every moment. They reflect. They journal. They test. They adapt. They evolve faster than the world around them. You do not need a system to grow. You need a standard. You need a commitment to improvement no matter what. You need to say, I will get better every day, whether anyone sees it or not. That is real power. That is real growth. That is how legacies are built. And here is the beauty of self-driven growth. No one can stop you from accessing it. not a job, not a teacher, not a government, not a lack of money, not a lack of opportunity. If you have internet, if you have curiosity, if you have the will, you have everything you need. You can study leaders. You can learn new skills. You can become a master at anything if you are willing to keep learning long after everyone else has stopped. So never believe that your education ended with school. Let that be your beginning, not your finish line. Growth is your responsibility, and the more you own that, the more unstoppable you become. Because in the end, the world belongs to those who never stop growing. Number 6, in today's world, people are obsessed with what looks good on paper, where you went to school, what degree you earned, what grades you got. But let me give you a truth that most people are too afraid to say out loud. The world does not care about your resume. It cares about your results. Your resume might open a door, but your results will keep it open. Your titles might sound impressive, but your actions will prove your worth. Your background might help you start, but your results will determine how far you go. Look around at the people winning in life. They are not always the most qualified on paper, but they are the most qualified in real life. They get things done. They solve problems. They build things. They lead. They deliver. And that is what the world notices. That is what gets remembered. When you produce results, people trust you. When you deliver value, people follow you. When you change lives, people talk about you. Resumes are silent. Results speak loud. Think about this. Have you ever hired someone because of their resume or because they got the job done? Have you ever stayed loyal to someone because of their degree or because of how they treated you and the outcome they gave you? That is the power of results. It creates trust. It builds impact. It proves your value without you saying a single word. Results are not about luck. Results are about consistency. They are about showing up every day, doing the work, improving your craft, and executing with focus. They are about caring enough to go the extra mile. They are about refusing to give average when you know excellence is possible. And here is the best part about results. You do not need a degree to start creating them. You do not need to be certified to bring value. You do not need approval to be effective. You need intention. You need work ethic. You need to care about excellence. That is it. You can become the most trusted name in your industry by doing one thing: delivering better results than anyone else. You can become the go-to person in your field by showing up prepared, staying sharp, and making a real difference. You do not have to convince anyone when your results already speak for you. And results do not just mean money. Results can be growth. Results can be transformation. Results can be peace, clarity, strength, leadership, kindness, change. Your results are a reflection of your effort, your mindset, your discipline. While others are busy dressing up their resume, you stay busy building your results. While others are waiting for recognition, you create impact that cannot be ignored. While others are talking about what they studied, you are showing the world what you can do. This is how you win long term. You focus less on what sounds good and more on what works. You chase real impact, not fake impressions. You let your effort talk. You let your results lead. And over time, no one can deny your greatness. Because at the end of the day, when the world is watching, when the pressure's on, when it matters most, it will not be your degree that saves you. It will be your results. Conclusion. So take this moment and make a new decision. A decision to show up. A decision to go all in. A decision to never let your worth be defined by a classroom. You do not need a degree to build greatness. You need the courage to begin, the discipline to continue, and the mindset to finish strong. This is your time. This is your story. This is your win. Go write it with your results. Go prove it with your mindset. Go live it with your full power. The degree is optional, but the belief in yourself is non-negotiable. So believe in yourself, because you are not just going to make it. You are going to win. Now go and show them how.